Welcome to yet another interesting discussion on the Digital History Students channel, on which now we are going to look into another interesting topic, that is human rights. Hot cake. Human rights is on the curriculum of senior of O level, dubbed the evolution of human rights. However, now even other people, parents, A level, you should not ignore this topic, because by the way things are coming, everyone needs to understand their rights. That is the journey onto which we are on, and the first things we are going to do is look at the definition of human rights. What are human rights? Then too, we shall look into the history of human rights and where they've come from, and then we shall look at the categorization of human rights, and then we shall look at the characteristics of human rights. You should be asking by yourself right now, are there some rights that are more important than the other? I know that question seems to stand very many times, but we shall come to look into it. Or by the end of the discussion, you'll have made a judgment upon that. Now, what are human rights? When you hear the word human rights, it has two things: human and the word right. Let us first look at the word human. I want us to keep it precise and simple, and we get to say humans are people. I don't want us to go too much deep into the scientific foundation of humans, but let's keep it simple for understanding. People. Then rights are demands. They are claims that a person or an individual has in order to have a good life. And these claims are accepted in society where they live or in community where they live. Simple as that. Now, what are human rights? Human rights are the entitlements. They are these, so long as these demands, these claims are accepted, they become entitlements. So they are the entitlements that each individual has by virtue of being human. The moment I am human, the moment you're born human, you have these rights. They are inherent. You've inherited them, and because of that, one of the characteristics that we shall look into is that they cannot be taken away. You have them by virtue of being human. Other people can call human rights moral principles or norms that are established standards of human behavior. Yeah, and yeah, we can agree. But these rights are based on shared values of dignity, of course, shared among the community or among the in society. Values of dignity, fairness, equality, respect, global citizenship, and independence. So those are the horses on which human rights ride. Now, let us go into where do human rights come from. Many people have been saying that human rights are foreign, blaming human rights players of being, of chasing something that is foreign. To some degree, we can argue like that, and we can say yes, because human rights, the ones that are enforced on us today, or the human rights we live with today, yes. That's why even the discussion is in English. Every time I think of decolonization of literature or of the African education sector, I burst into laughter. But yes, let's ride. People that try to locate human rights in time shall tell you that in 539 BC, King Cyrus conquered Babylon, and what did he do? He let slaves free. Slavery is a violation of human rights. So, by letting slaves free, you are getting to give them human rights. So, he let slaves free, and second, he let all, even the conquered people, have a right to religion. He let them worship in any way they deemed necessary or they deemed wanted. So by that action, there came what we call the Cyrus Cylinder, a document which had these kind of rights written on. So from there, we come to 1915. King John in England was made to rule by the Constitution. Yeah? And that Constitution, but that document was called the Magna Carta. When I say Magna Carta, some of you call it the Magna Carta. So from there, it comes on growing to 1628 when a petition of rights was presented to yet another king, King Charles the First, and he was meant to sign a statement of civil liberties. Yes, that is another kind of improvement. And yet, the famous, we get to look at the famous 1789 Declaration of Citizens of, Declaration of Rights of Man. So that was 6 weeks after the storming of Bastille's prison. Now, this action by the National Constituent Assembly was a step towards formation of a constitution in France. Then from there we come to I've skipped many, but these are the most outstanding, I would claim. We have the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Yes, and I think that is the most outstanding document. Now, that brings me to characteristics of these rights. Characteristics, you can call them characteristics, you can call them principles that govern human rights. Now, in this, we have a lot of principles, but I'm going to mention 5. We are going to write by 5. That human rights are founded on respect for dignity and worth of each person. So, to recognize or to have respect for the dignity and worth for each and every person, that's where that's why we need human rights. Human rights are yet again dependent. Human rights are universal. Universal. They are applied equally without discrimination. Universality of human rights. They are inalienable. They cannot be taken away from an individual. They cannot, unless otherwise in specific situations or conditions. For example, you've committed crime and you've been proven guilty in courts of law. Therefore, some liberties like movement, can be scrapped. Then we have, they are indivisible. They are interrelated. Violation of one right can mean violation of others. So don't say that for me I've just taken away the right to life. and you think that is the only right you've taken away. You've taken away very many other rights by doing that, by taking away that one. So they are indivisible, they are interrelated, or interconnected. Manifold, they are manifold. I mean, they apply to all aspects of life. All aspects of life. In politics, economics, family, everything you do, human rights are there. So don't you claim that this is another game. This is politics. We don't have rights. Oh, rights are ruled over. No, please, they are there. That's what we mean by manifold. Now, I want us to dive into categorization. Yes, categorization. How do we categorize rights? How do we classify them? And here we come to the other question. Are there some rights that are more important than the others? To me, no, because we've seen that these rights are indivisible. So no right is there being bigger than the other. So by the International Bill of Human Rights that proposes 50 rights, proposes 50 human rights, right? And then it goes down into trying to categorize these rights, or into classifying these rights into three categories, which we call generations. The first generation, second generation, and third generation rights. Now, let's look at the first generation. The first generation rights are the one we call civil and political rights. My teacher told me that civil and political rights are there to safeguard the citizenry against the wrath of the state, or against the wrongdoings of the state. So these civil and political rights are 24 in number, and they are also subdivided. They are subdivided. We have rights relating to physical integrity. For example, the right to life and the freedom against torture, arbitrary arrest, etc. Then two, we have the rights relating to individual autonomy, like the right to movement or the liberty to movement, residence, freedom of thought. Then we have rights relating to administration of justice. For example, non-imprisonment for debt. My students, you should not be imprisoned because someone or because you owe someone money. You should not be subjected to prison for that. Then the right to fair trial, equality before the law, etc. Those are the first generation rights. Then, apart from that, we also have the second generation rights, that are rights related to equality. Yes, rights that are that govern society, and they are trying to make an individual equal to other. And what I forgot to mention is that the first generation rights can be found in the International Covenant for Civil and Political Rights. Yes, that covenant. And then the second generation rights can be found in the International Covenant for social, is it economic, social, and cultural rights, something like that. Yes. And then Yes, it's the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. In this, we have workers' rights, and then rights concerning education, etc., etc. And then from there, allow me also to comment about the third generation rights. Now, third generation rights are rights of a group of people. They can be called collective rights. They are enjoyed collectively. So you cannot come as a person and you say your third generation rights have been violated. So third generation rights are group rights. For example, the right to development. You cannot enjoy the right to development alone. Then right to clean water or right to clean environment, right to self-determination. My students of nationalism, right to self-determination. So these are third generational rights. Now, from this discussion, for matter of data, I think we can stop it here, but we shall get to start from here in yet another discussion pertaining the violation of human rights and their protection. So in another video, we shall be discussing that. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to comment. Bye bye. Bless.